we'll have a 1 kilometer race. So in that 1 kilometer race, who takes the minimum time, on the basis of that admission will be given. Now, do you still are in a position that you will come under first 50 people if 1 lakh people are running the race? Do you have still ability to come under first 50, 100 people or 500 people running that race? So answer might be for many people will be no. So again, so to crack that race also, you have to do a certain amount of preparation. You first need to uh, run a certain amount of distance. You need to check how much time you're taking. Okay, you have to build your stamina. You're getting my point? So all these things will, just a minute. So still you need to prepare for that. Okay. So same thing is here. That's key. CET is a speed game. It's a speed based exam. So I know the things more than that. How fast I can do the things. Okay, that's the question mark. So my first thing is you focus on your accuracy part. That you should be able to get more and more questions correct first. Once you focus on your accuracy part, I know the concept. Then you need to practice a lot of things. Okay, and once you practice those part, then your speed and accuracy both will improve, and then you'll start producing the score. Fine. Sure. So now let's start with the today's session now. So today's session is about the abstract reasoning. Okay, now see, when CET became online, we were expecting that they will go away with this abstract reasoning part, because whichever other exams, when they became online, they removed this abstract reasoning part, because it is easy to solve this question when there's a paper pencil paper, but in an online mode it is difficult to solve these questions. Fine. But CET decided to go ahead with the abstract reasoning part, and till date they have not removed this section, and this section has a complete weightage of 25 marks. Fine. Now somewhere in CET 2021, okay, that is CET 20 happened before that COVID lockdown started. So CD 21 happened somewhere in September 21. It didn't get conducted in March 21. So when that paper we saw, we found there are a lot of new types of questions were there. Okay. Now those new types of questions has been reduced drastically. That amount has gone down. Okay. And very few questions of new types they're asking now. Fine. So in today's session, we are going to discuss the basics of abstract reasoning. Okay. And just a minute. So in that basics, we'll first see that very typical type of questions. I'm not going to discuss the new types of question because we'll not have that much time with us right now. If time permitted, then I'll discuss those new types of questions also. Otherwise, later we'll have more sessions where we can conduct that new types of questions discussion. Fine. So in today's session, what we are going to discuss, let's see. So what is the agenda for today's session? The first thing what we're going to discuss is the types of questions. What are the different types of questions? Then different types of logic involved. That's the important part. Then inputs for the series question. So how to handle a series question, because the area where the maximum number of questions asked is a series question. So we'll discuss the inputs of how to handle the series questions, and we'll discuss few examples also. Fine. So let's go ahead with the part. Okay. Now, what are the different types of questions there? So just understand one thing. See, there are typical three types of questions are asked in CET. One is your series, second is your analogies, and the third part is your odd man out. Is that okay? The fourth category is the miscellaneous types of questions. That is, as I said, is a few in numbers. So let's discuss what are the how types of questions asked in series. What kind of questions are asked in series part? So can you just go through these three types which I mentioned on the this slide? So what are these three types? One is a 5-figure series. Then in 5-figure series, they're asking the question, find the next figure. Second is a 5-figure series question only, but to find the missing figure in that question. And question number 3 is a 7-figure series to find a wrong figure. Now, please understand, 7-figure series, when they whatever the CET note information booklet is released, in that they have mentioned that 7-figure series questions. But since long period, they are not asking these 7-figure series questions. So as a type, we'll discuss. Okay, so there's nothing different in that. It's just a type of question. Fine. So 5-figure series with a question mark, and 7-figure series question. So let me give you typical examples of this 5-figure series. Look at this example. So can you solve this and get the answer? Okay. So read the instructions carefully. What are the instructions given at the top? In these questions, 5 problem figures allowed by the answer figures are given. By observing the pattern followed by the problem figures, one of the answer figures which continues the same pattern is to be chosen as the answer. No issues? So what you have to understand, from first figure to second figure, from second to third, third to fourth, fourth to fifth, some kind of uh, fine, this kind of pattern is followed. Now you have to crack that pattern. What is that pattern? And then you have to answer which will be the next figure, that is 6th figure in the series. And for that 6th figure, options 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are given. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 5 are the answer figures. Is that okay? Now, can you crack the logic? Okay, it's an easy question. Those who have studied a little bit of abstract reasoning, for them, this we know that part. Okay. So here, can you crack this logic? क्या है इसमें? चलो fast. 4, 4, 4. Many people are saying 4 as the answer. Yes. 4. Others. 4. चलो देखते हैं. Now, how can I solve this question? I can put it this way. So if you don't know anything, so I say, let's say this is the something I've drawn. Look at the first figure. In the first figure, the arrow is pointing upward. Can I say in the second figure, arrow is pointing here? So I can say it has just moved one position. It has just moved one position ahead. Okay. In the next figure, just a minute. Okay. In the next figure, the arrow is over here. Okay. So can I say as arrow is over here, it has moved 1, 2 positions. Okay. So here it is moved just one position. Now it is moving 1, 2 position. Okay. In which direction? This is called as the clockwise direction because clock moves like this. So it's moving in a clockwise direction. Next figure, if you look at the next figure, the arrow is over here. So can you see here how many places it has moved ahead? 1, 2, 3. So are you getting the pattern? It has moved one place, then 1, 2 places, 1, 2, 3 places. Okay. And now it is going to move 4 places. If you move it to 4 places, 1, 2, 3, 4, it will show like this. Look at here. It is showing like this. Now in the next figure, it should move 5 places. So 5 places means what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your arrow must be pointing in this direction, northwest direction. Okay, so this is the direction where the arrow must be pointing. Which is that option? That is your fourth option. Which is that option? That is your fourth option. Fine. So this was easier for me to make you understand this way. It is moving 1 position, 2 position, 3 positions. Okay, but basically this is a question of rotation. Okay, so what you need to understand that it is rotating by a certain margin. So for example, I say, look at here. First of all, this angle is 90 degree. Okay, this angle is 90 degree. So if I divide this into two equal parts, what you need to understand, this is 45 degrees and this is also 45 degrees. This is 45 degrees. This is also 45 degrees. That part is very, very clear. No issues. Fine. So let me show like this. In the first figure, your arrow is vertically like this. In the second figure, look at first to second figure, you'll observe it is rotated by 45 degree. Can I show that rotation here? Look at here. It is rotated by 45 degree. Okay, it was over here, right? It was like this first. Now it is rotated by 45 degree. In the second figure, you'll observe it is rotated by 90 degree. Okay, can you observe that? It was here. Now it is rotated by 90 degree. In the next figure, you'll see it is rotated by 45 plus 90, that is 135 degree. It was here. Now it is rotated by, look at this is 45 and this is 90 more. That is total 135 degree it is rotated. So it is rotated by 45, then it is rotated by 90, then it is rotated by 135. 135 plus 45 if you add, that is 180. Now 180 degree clockwise if you rotate, you'll go in other direction. So this is 90, 90, that is 180 degree. Is that okay? Clear? So now after this 180 degree, the next rotation is supposed to be 180 plus 45. 180 plus 45 is how much? 180 plus 45 will give you 180 plus 45 is 225 degree. So if you rotate by 225 degree, now look at 225 means what? This is 90, 90, 180 and another 45. So this is where your figure should look like. So next is 225 degree rotation like this. So that is which option? That is your fourth option. Is that okay? No issues in this part? Fine. So here you have to understand the rotation part. So in rotation, look at here it is clockwise. You move in a direction of clock, it's clockwise. If you move opposite to the direction of clock, that is called as the anti-clockwise. Okay. Now here the question was simple. The question could be made slightly complicated, saying that you're moving 45 degree clockwise, then you're moving 90 anti-clockwise, 135 clockwise, 180 anti-clockwise. Next will be 225 clockwise. The logic can be formed this way also. Is that okay? Fine. So this is just to give you the idea what is that 5-figure series is there. And with that, I've explained the rotation concept also. Okay. Now, only thing is in exam, I cannot draw these things. So you need to visualize that rotation. Okay. In exam, I cannot draw these things. So you need to visualize that rotation. So what I'm expecting in the exam is, so what is expected from you in exam is like this. Okay. First is rotated by 45 degree. Can you visualize that it is rotated by 45? So here the arrow was like this. It is rotated by 90. The arrow was like this. You have to understand this is rotation by 135. And opposite direction, it's a rotation by 180 degree. Fine. So then you need to visualize, you need to practice for it. Is that part is clear? Fine. Next. Let's go ahead. Now, second type of question is what? Second type of question is also 5-figure series only. But here they are given the question mark. Okay, so question mark. So in between figure you want to find out. Now to explain you this, as this is a basics class, I've given a very, very simple examples so that you'll be able to crack the logic and get the answer. Okay. So first of all, look at what will come at the question mark place. Can you try? Easily possible. Many people have easily answered the question. Okay. So the logic is here is what? I can see one line vertical, then I can see two lines horizontal. then it should be 3 lines vertical, 4 lines horizontal, 5 lines vertical. Are you getting? So your question mark figure should be 3 vertical lines. You're getting 1 vertical line, then 2 horizontal, 3 vertical, 4 horizontal, 5 vertical. Okay, so number of lines are increasing as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At the same time, in alternate figure, it's vertical, horizontal, and so on. Fine. So 3 vertical lines is which option? That is your fourth option. So answer to your question number 2 is the fourth option. That part is very, very clear. No issues. Fine. Okay, let me go ahead. Okay. Now, as I said, 7-figure series questions. Now, these questions are not recently asked in CET. Okay. But earlier these somewhere in if you look at the papers of 2002 CET, 2005 CET, you'll find these kind of questions were asked very frequently. But now these questions are not asked. But this is just a pattern. There's nothing in the terms of a logic part. Logic will remain the same. So what is the pattern over here? What you need to understand, this first figure is the start of the series. This last figure is the end of the series. So your first figure is a correct figure and your last is also a correct figure, right? In between the series is followed and one of the figure is wrong. It is not following that series. So you want to find out this. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mentioned, these are basically your options. So you're within a question, only options are given. Here within a question only options are given. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one of the figure is not following that. You need to find out which is the wrong figure. Fine. So in this case, again, an easy question. Can you try? Okay, as I said, we are discussing the basics. So I taken very, very easy questions over here. Yeah, most of the people have answered 3. Pooja, Tanya. Okay, check it. Now, if I just count the number of lines, what are the number of lines? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 lines. Second figure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines are there. Next figure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines are there. Next figure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here also 7 lines are there. So if you look at a pattern, it is 5, 6, 7. This figure number 3 should have been 8 lines. This should have been 8 lines. That's what I think. But if this is 8 line, next figure should have 9 lines. Can you check those 9 elements? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfectly matching. Next figure should have 10 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 elements. Perfectly matching. And the last figure should have 11 elements. 3, 3 and 3, 6, 6 and 3, 9, 9 and 2, 11 lines. Perfectly matching. So if you look at the number of elements are 5, 6, 7, 8, it should have been the figure number 3. So your figure number 3 is wrong because one element is missing. Fine. So this is clearly indicating that your first and last figures are correct. So start of the series, end of the series are the correct figures. So whichever the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is that there is something wrong. Now these kind of question become slightly difficult when your first figure itself is wrong. The option number 1 is itself is wrong. Then this kind of question becomes slightly difficult. Fine. So these are the 3 major types which are usually were asked in CET. Let me go ahead now. Look at the next type of question. The next type of questions what we're going to discuss are the analogies questions. Okay. Now in analogy question also there are 2 types of questions. One is a 4-figure analogy. Okay. Another type of question is the similar pair questions. Okay. One is a 4-figure analogy. Another type of question is a similar pair questions. No issues in this part. Okay. Now how your 4-figure analogy questions will look like? Let me show you that part. Fine. So can you just read the instructions carefully first? What I have written, just can you read it carefully? Don't jump to the questions part, understand that part very well. What they're saying, these questions contain two pairs of problem figures followed by 5 answer figures. So look at, these are the two problem figures. First figure, second figure. Among the two figures, in the second pair of problem figures, one is not given. So look at, in the first pair, two figures are given. In the second pair, only one pair is given, one is a question mark. Okay. So an answer figure should be chosen in such a way that a relation between the two figures of the second problem pair is established, which is similar to the relationship existing between the two figures of the first pair of the problem figures. So what does it mean? Look at here, this first pair has certain relationship. You have to crack that relationship, and with that relationship, you want to find this question mark in the second pair. Here also, this first pair of figures has certain relationship. You crack that relationship and find out that question mark part. Is that okay? No issues in this? Fine. Okay. So in the first case, can you crack the logic and get the answer? If you observe, can I say, in the first figure, the logic is, this is B. It's a, we'll learn that as an image. This is B and it is its mirror image. So first part, if you look it in the mirror, it will look like this. But while doing that part, the mistake happens is what? You first see where is the question mark. In the first question, the question mark is in the second part. So I should look at the relation from first to second. I have to see the relation from first to second. What's happening from first to second? It's a mirror image. So can you take a mirror image of that K later and see how it will look like? Can you try? A small changes are there. Small changes are there. Can you see how the mirror image of K will look like? Yes. So look at option number 3 and option number 5, not possible. One of the reason of saying is, look at, in this K is a slightly thicker element. Here they are thin elements. Or you can see here, these are joined at these two lines of K are joined at one point only. Okay. But in actual, your main figure, those two lines are not joined together at one point. Is that okay? Fine. Okay. Next. So if you look at how the mirror image should look like, can I say that should be option 4 only? 4 is a proper mirror image of that letter K. So answer is option 4 only. Why not the first one? Second is as it is element, but it doesn't look like a mirror image. Okay, so just have to understand that this K, how your mirror image should look like this. So why not the first option? Why not the first option? First option also looks like a mirror image. Okay, first option. Why not first option? Yeah, look at the lines of K properly. Here, the line which is on the upper side, that is joined to the vertical line. Right? Here, the line of K which is on the upper side, that is joined to the vertical line. Here, in the first option, line which is on the lower side, that is joined to the vertical line. Okay, so small changes, minor changes are there. Okay, so answer to this question is the fourth option. Is that okay? Now, in the second question, look at, in the second question mark is in the first part. So I should see the relation second to first. Question mark is in the first part, so I should see the relation from second to first. So from second figure to first figure, second part to first part, what is the relation? That I need to check here. So can you quickly check that part? What's happening over here? It is simply a water image, or you can say it is upside down. It's just simply a water image upside down. So here the letter is W. If you take a water image of that upside down, it will look like a letter M. But can you look at that W part properly? Whatever lines are there, they are intersecting and forming a cross at each corner. At each corner, the cross is formed. So if you observe that, can I say that is the option M? That is the option 4. Is that okay? Can you observe that they are forming a cross? That is the option 4. This part is very, very clear. No issues. Fine. Let me go ahead. Quick. Okay, so this, have you understood the 4-figure analogy? Now, please understand, question won't be so simple. This is just to explain how the basics are there. Okay, as I said, it's abstract in basics. I'm just giving an idea what are the types of questions first. Let me go ahead now. Okay. Now, second type of analogy questions is a similar pair question. Means what? They have given one problem figure. A and O has some relationship. Out of these 5 figures, you want to find a pair which has the same relationship. You're getting the format of the question. A and O. So this is I called it as a, that whatever the A and O they are given as a, this is a reference figure they have given. Okay, so they have given a reference figure. In that there is some logic. Which pair has a similar logic? You're getting my point? So what I'll do, I'll not crack the logic right now because we haven't discussed what are the different types of logic are there. So we'll solve this question later. But is the pattern clear to you? What is the pattern? That A and O has some relationship. We, out of those 5 pairs given answer figures, which pair has a similar relationship? So these are analogy questions only, but this is we call as a 5-figure question. Sorry, options are 5 figures, and here you can also say it's a similar pair. This is called as a similar pair type. Is that okay? Let me go ahead now. Now your third category is the odd man out part. Okay, so what is under that odd man out point? The first is a normal odd man out, and second is an odd pair out. Okay, I just show you the questions, a type. Look at here. So what they are given, they have given these 5 figures, and you have to find a figure which does not belong to this group. So while doing the odd man out question, the only issue happens is many people start thinking like this. The first figure has pentagon, 5 sides are there. Next figure has 4 sides. Next figure has 3 sides. Next figure should be 2 sides. That's why this is wrong. No, this is not the correct logic. So when I'm talking about the odd man out question, there is no series. You're getting my point? So this 5, 4, 3, if you're looking this way, that's wrong. So in odd man out for questions, you should not look for the series part. You should look for the properties of the figure. So what I can see over here is pentagon, what I'm saying, square, triangle, and look at the last 5th figure. All these figures have straight lines. All these figures have straight lines. Figure number 4 does not have a straight line. Figure number 4 does not have a straight line. So my answer is the 4th option. That part is very clear. All these figures are having the straight line. Figure number 4 does not have a straight line. That part is very, very clear. No issues in this. Fine. So it is odd man out. So what you need to keep in mind, in odd man out question, don't go for the series part. There is nothing called as a series. Is that okay? Next. Now there is another type in odd man out, that is the odd pair out. Okay, there's an odd pair out. So look at here, first and second part has some relationship. Here also first and second part has some relationship. Here also first and second part has some relationship. So you need to crack that logic. So 4 pairs will have the similar relationship. One pair will have a different relationship. Which is the pair with a different relationship? Okay, so out of 5 figures, 5 options given, 4 pairs will follow the same relation, same logic. One pair will not follow that relation. That is your odd pair out. So here the data is given in pairs. That's it. So here also, from first figure to second figure, there is no logic. So then there is no series over here. Is that part is clear? So in odd man out question, the common mistake is people look for the series part. There is no series involved in odd man out question. Is that okay? This part is very clear, everyone. Okay. Next, shall we move ahead? So these are your basic types of questions. Now let's talk about the types of logic. Now please understand, there is nothing as a syllabus. Okay, these are the only types of logic possible. This is what I have categorized so that I can explain some basics, and with the help of that, you'll be able to solve the question. However, you as a student also can frame a really good abstract reasoning question. So framing abstract reasoning question is not a problem. The problem is cracking the question. Fine. So still I've tried to categorize, okay, these are the parameters on which you can check the question so that you'll be able to crack. Okay. So let's look at the first type of question. That is the first type of logic involved. That is a quantitative logic. Is that okay? That is a quantitative logic. Now here the word quantitative suggests something. It suggests quant. So somewhere the numbers are involved in this logic. Okay. So I give a bit, let's start with the simple examples. You'll have idea. So look at, this is the example we studied. This is an example of quantitative logic. What? Number of lines are 1, number of lines are 2, number of lines are 4, number of lines are 5. So your question mark should have 3 lines, right? And then we also saw 3 lines. You can see there are 2 options with 3 lines. One is option 1, one is option 4. Then you see first figure as vertical line, second figure as horizontal line, third figure as vertical lines. So that is your option 4. Fine. So this is an example of your quantitative logic. We already discussed the example while studying the series question. This is an example where some numbers are involved. From those numbers, you have to derive some pattern, and then you'll be able to answer the questions. Fine. So let me give you more examples so you'll have idea. Look at this example for that odd pair which we didn't discuss. We just explained the type. Now, can you try this question, odd pair? What's the logic in this? Can you try this question? Can you find which is the odd pair? Which is a pair which is not fitting in this? 4 will follow the same logic, 1 will not follow that logic. Which is that odd pair? Second? Second match, there's a little bit. See, actually, this is designed as rectangle. You take this as a square only. These figures looks like a rectangle. You consider them as square only, right? In the second figure, those figures looks like a rectangle. Consider them as square only. Is that okay? So these figure looks like a rectangle. Consider them as square only. Can you do that part? And now can you try which is the odd man out, which is the odd pair out? Fourth, Ketki said 4, Nupur said 4, Tane saying 4, Tanish. So in many examples, I observe the answer is fourth only, right? Many examples, what we discuss, I observe the answer is fourth option only. Yes. Others, I want everybody to try this question. So the hint is here is what? There is nothing. I don't see the elements are same. Whatever elements are in the first figure, the similar elements are not in any figure. So here The logic will be more about the counting logic. So can you count the number of elements? What it is? For example, in the first figure, how many number of circles are there? Two circles are there. And here I can see there are four circles are there. So I say whichever elements are two becomes four. Okay. Look at number of stars. Look at number of stars. Number of stars are four. Number of stars are four. And in the second figure, it is just two. So four becomes two. And look at the number of plus signs. One. In the second part, number of plus signs are 1, 2, 3. Okay. So the logic I'm applying right now here is I can see two, whichever part is 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 2, 1 becomes 3. Okay. Is that pattern is followed? Is that pattern is followed in how many figures? Now here the problem here is, what if your first figure itself is wrong? It might happen that first figure itself is wrong. Okay. So look at here. Second figure, look at. Can I say which are the four elements? Look at these rectangles. A 1, 2, 3, 4. I said those rectangle take it as a square. So this 4 becomes 2. The second part it is 2. Look at here. 1, 2. Is that okay? Look at the triangles. Triangles are 1, 2. In the second part, triangles are 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Circle is 1. And in the second figure, circles are 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So in two figures, my logic is properly followed. And what is that logic? 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 2, 1 becomes 3. Is that okay? Now, is it valid in the other figures? Is it valid in the other figures? Can you check that part? Third figure, can you check that logic? Can you check the logic in the third figure? What it is? Look at here. 1, 2. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. 2 becomes 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 4 becomes 2. Perfect. And here it is one circle. 1, 2, 3 circles. 1 becomes 3. Perfectly matching. Here look at 1, 2 triangles. Here it is 1, 2, 3 triangles. Here 2 becomes 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. That becomes 2. Perfectly matching. And here 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 becomes 4. So that's wrong. That's not matching with the other figures. So your answer should be the fourth option. But still, let me verify in the last figure. Look at here. 1, 2. That becomes 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is 1, 2, 3, 4 plus signs. That becomes 2. And 1% sign becomes 1, 2, 3. Perfectly matching. Okay. So this logic, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 2, 1 becomes 3. Followed in every figure except figure number 4. So answer to this question is fourth option. Fine. So this is the question of a quantity logic. So there is nothing. I have to just count the number of elements. I have to answer the questions. Is that okay? No issues in this part. So let me take few examples of these quantity logic. So you have an idea. So can you try this question now? These are series questions. So question is what? What is the next figure in the series? I think I have not written instructions over here. So this is a series question. What is the next figure in the series? See, there is one more type of question that you get a wrong figure from the 5-figure series. Okay, there's a one more type of question that is a wrong figure in the 5-figure series. So the 5-figure series given, which figure is a wrong figure? But here this question is find the next figure in the series. So 6-figure number you want to find out. Can you try that part? I think though I'm just confused because there are no instructions written. Whether to find a next figure or it's a wrong figure. Let me work on this first. Okay. Because I have not written any instructions, so it might be a wrong figure question also. So just by mistake, I forgot to write the instructions over here. So what is the logic over here? Can I observe the pattern? Okay. Whether it's a wrong figure or it's a next figure, let me check. Can I count? Now I can, first observation is what? I can see all the figures, the elements are same. Okay. In all the figures, I can see the elements are same. Okay. Fine. So can you look at here? How many elements are there? 1, 2, 3. Look at a star. How many stars are there? Let me count the number of stars. How many number of stars are there? Look at here. Number of stars. Can you count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So 5 stars in the first figure. Second figure, 3 stars. Then 4. Then 1. And then 2. Is that okay? Look at the number of squares. Number of squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next figure is 1 square. Next figure is 2 squares. Next figure is 5 squares. And next figure is 3 squares. Look at the number of dash. First figure is having 2. Next figure is having how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next figure is having 3. Next figure is having 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And next figure is having only 1 dash. Look at the number of arrows. First figure is having 3. Next figure is having 4. Next figure is having 1. Then again 2. And then 5. Is that okay? Fine. Now here, can you observe the pattern? The pattern is 5, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 2 becomes what? 2 becomes 5. Okay. So look at, this is a loop completed. This is a loop completed. Means what? Look at, first is what? 5 becomes 3. Can you see everywhere? Star, look at, 5 becomes 3. 5 becomes 3. Then here also second case. In case you want to form a next figure, here's arrow should become 5 should become 3. Square, look at, square, do you look at next star, 3 becomes 4. Look at, in case square you want to form next figure, 3 should become 4. Look at here, 3 becomes 4. Here also 3 becomes 4. Then 4 becomes 1. Look at here, 4 becomes 1. 4 becomes 1. Next figure also 4 becomes 1. Next figure also 4 becomes 1. Are you getting? Then 1 becomes 2. 1 becomes 2. Look at the next figure. If you want to frame the next figure, 1 should become 2 and 1 becomes 2. And look at 2 becomes 5. Can you look at here? Square. Look at square. 2 becomes 5. Here also last arrows, 2 becomes 5. Okay. And dash also, look at 2 becomes 5. So in case you want to form star, 2 should become 5. Okay. So my all figures are correct. This is not a wrong question from the series. Here, in case you want to form a new figure, sixth figure, it will have 5 stars, it will have 4 squares, it will have 1 dash, and it will have 3 arrows. So I'm not given the options over here. So this is the figure what you'll get. Is that okay? Okay. So 5, 4, 2, 3, and that 5, 4, 2, 3 will be the same as the first figure. Is that part is clear? So here the loop is completed. Can you see it? 5 becomes 3, 3 becomes 4, 4 becomes 1, 1 becomes 2, and again 2 becomes 5. Is that part is very, very clear? So I was just confused whether it's a wrong figure question or not, but it is not wrong. It's the next figure in the series. So next figure, so it should look like a first figure. It should have the same number of elements, but exactly it will look like a same figure. We don't know. ये part clear है, ये pattern clear है सबको? So this is an example of again a quantitative logic. So you're just counting the number of elements and getting the answer. Is that okay? Fine. Okay, shall I go to the next question? Any doubts in this portion? Okay, look at this, some examples. Can you try this question easy? So I'm just giving a variety of question under quantitative logic. I think everybody can answer this question. Yes? Okay. Look at the first figure. Can I say it is divided into 6 parts? Second figure is divided into 6 parts. Third figure is divided into 8 parts. Fourth figure, can you see here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is also divided into 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is also divided into 6 parts. So every figure is divided into 6 parts. Figure number 3 is divided into 8 parts. Your wrong is the third option. Is that part is very, very clear? Are you there? Okay, so these are some examples I'm giving you. Yeah. Can you find the odd man out? I've written the instruction at the type top. Among the 5 given figures, 4 follow the same pattern and one figure is different from these 4. Find the odd one out. Five, 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 five. Yes. Why 5? 4. Yes, she's saying 4. Odd man out. Which is the odd man out? Okay. Now, first thing, let me understand. Just answer all of you. All of you, I just ask you a question. How many of you tried this? How many of you tried this way or how many of you look this way? Okay, ये ऐसे है arrow. फिर ये arrow rotate हो गया 45 degree. You said 45 degree rotate हो गया. Then again, this arrow inside is rotated by 45 degree. Again, it is rotated by 45 degree. Again, it is rotated by 45 degree. And then it is rotated by 90 degree. Hence, fifth. Okay, you're getting my point? Hence, fifth. So, how many tried like this? Yeah, you did not say answer fifth, but you at least check for a rotation of 45, 45, 45 rotate ho raha hai. Okay, fine. Okay, now that's a common trap. That's a common trap in the odd man out question. It's a odd man out question, na? I told you at the start also. In odd man out question, there is no series. So after first figure, how you get the second figure, there is no logic for it. You're getting my point? So if you're looking first to second rotate or second to third rotate or 45 degree, that is of no use because in odd man out question, you're not supposed to look for the series part, but you're supposed to look for the properties part. ये part clear है सबको? So those who have checked the rotation, that's a wrong way to start, I'll say. Okay, and I'll forget to answer right or wrong. But I should not check for a series first of all. I should look for the properties. Okay, so what I see in every figure, I can see in every figure there are 2 arrows. One is a small arrow. Okay, one is a what I'm saying longer arrow. Okay, and it gives me a clock-like feeling. Some of you might have checked timing also. Time kitna hua hai karke types. Okay, Now here, the correct answer is a fourth. The correct answer is a fourth. Okay. Now, can you see, okay, the number of lines which are outside? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the third figure, 1, 2, 3. That fourth line is missing. And last figure, look at 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that okay? Clear idea? So answer is the fourth option. Somebody, Priyanka said, observe that. You said, तुमको लगा होगा सर का printing mistake है. Yes? Clear idea? Fine. So this is a quantitative logic. So this is a this is a camouflage. It is basically those arrows are distracting you. The most attractive part in the figure is arrow. So you go behind that, you check for the series, and that's what happened in the odd man out figure. Okay, they try to give a series format, but actually you should not look for the series. You should look for the property. Okay. अभी इसमें ना odd man out में यही same question. This was actual CD question, by the way, long back, some probably 20 years back. This question was asking CD, the actual CD question. Fine. Okay. Now, in similar question, one of the similar question was asked in CET, but the question was simply like, for example, let's say I draw the fourth figure like this. I change the fourth figure like this. मैं fourth figure को change करता हूँ, and I say what I'm saying. एक मिनट मुझे proper draw करना. I change the fourth figure like this. 1, 2, 3, 4 lines only. Now which will be odd man out? Okay, I've changed the fourth figure now. If I change the fourth figure, which will be the odd man out? This is also CD question. This is also CD question. अरे अभी फिफ्थ क्यों रे भाई? Why fifth? Fourth. Subodh is saying fourth. Saurav is saying fourth. What? Clear? I just changed the one figure. एक figure को change कर दिया मैंने. Fourth. Now you check. Now the logic will be like this. You look at those arrows. Look at those arrows. Okay. So the angle between the arrows is 90 degree. But if you go clockwise, if I move clockwise from one arrow to other, if I move clockwise from one arrow to other, a longer arrow comes first, then a shorter arrow comes. Can you see the logic? If I move the clockwise, first it is longer to shorter arrow. Longer to shorter arrow, it's a clockwise direction 90 degree. So longer to shorter, look at here, second figure. Longer arrow to shorter arrow, clockwise 90 degree. Longer to shorter arrow, clockwise 90 degree. But in the fourth figure, look at shorter to longer clockwise हो रहा है या उल्टा longer to shorter anti clockwise 90 degree होगा. Okay, so last figure also longer to shorter 90 degree clockwise. Is that okay? So answer here is the fourth option again, because you go from longer arrow to shorter arrow, the rotation is 90 degree clockwise. Okay, clear idea? Fine. So with a minor change, entire logic will change. Clear idea? So these both are actual CD questions, but again, not recent one, very long back questions. Is that fine? Let me go ahead now. Fine. The second part is a structural logic. Now, structural logic means what? The name also itself indicates you're talking about a structure of the figure. Is that okay? You're talking about a structure of the figure. So let me give an example. Okay. Okay. Suppose if I ask you which is the odd man out. So you remember now, odd man out means no series. कुछ series नहीं देखना है. Which is the odd man out? Just a minute. Odd man out क्या होगा? Fifth option. Shankar is saying fifth. Shekhar is saying fifth. Muskan is saying fifth. Yes, Shravani fifth. Ah, fifth. Q fifth. Fifth Q. Yes. Okay. Now we already discussed this question, right? The fifth is because the first five figures, they are bounded by straight lines. First four figures are bounded by straight lines, and the fifth figure is not bounded by a straight line. Okay, so circle don't have any straight lines, but other figures are having straight lines. So the structure logic means the structure of the figure I'm looking. Figures bounded by straight line versus figures not bounded by straight lines. Fine. Next, suppose I add one more figure. I add one more figure in it. अभी 6 फिगर्स है ऐसा क्वेश्चन. अभी 6 फिगर का ऑड मैन आउट सीडी में नहीं होता है. जस्ट फॉर आवर बेसिक डिस्कशन. I've added a heart shape also. Now which is your odd man out? Now what is your odd man out? Fifth, 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 fifth. Okay, now what logic you might be giving for fifth? So सर देखो बाकी इसमें लाइंस है, हार्ट में भी लाइंस है, सर्कल में लाइंस नहीं, पर हार्ट में कर्व लाइन भी है ना. So that won't be a stronger logic. That won't be a stronger logic. Okay, or somebody saying there is no vertex. Okay, there is no vertex. Somebody. The stronger logic will be I'll go for the sixth figure is the odd man out. I'll say heart shape is the odd man out. The reason I'm saying that first five figures are the geometric figures. Heart shape is not a geometric figure. Okay, so your logic could be what? Geometric versus non-geometric. Fine. Now see, you'll come across. I'm not saying कि तुम्हारा logic wrong है सर. देखो ना उसमें vertex है. बाकी इसमें सर्कल में वर्टेक्स है नहीं, बाकी सब फिगर में वर्टेक्स है. एटलीस्ट वन वर्टेक्स है. So you can mold your logic the way you want. So एक तो वर्टेक्स है, बाकी किसी में एक भी वर्टेक्स, सर्कल में एक भी वर्टेक्स नहीं. But the important is when you come across a two or more logic, then which is the stronger one? So the stronger logic will be that the first five figures are the geometric figures. Heart shape is not a geometric figure. Okay. So look at, I introduce one figure, your entire logic change. Okay. I introduce one more figure. Now which is your odd man out? I introduce one more figure, which is odd man out. Abhi seventh figure is odd man out. Why? Because the first six figures are the two-dimensional figure. Your seventh figure is the three-dimensional figure. Okay, so with one just additional figure, मेरा पूरा logic change हो गया. All are the two-dimensional figures, and last is a three-dimensional figures. So in a structural logic, you can see figures bounded by lines versus figures not bounded by lines. Geometric versus non-geometric. Number of dimensions, is it two-dimensional, three-dimensional figure? That's what you can see in structural logic. Is that part is clear? Fine. So let me give you some examples of structural logic so you'll have an idea. Shall I go ahead?